Hello and welcome to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In this week's edition, we will recap selected races from Saturday, April 7th and Sunday, April 8th. It was a weekend which saw two major prep events being contested ahead of the Triple Crown Series. Saturday's feature was the Portmore graded stakes event for native-bred 3-year-old fillies. Meanwhile, Sunday's showpiece event was the Kingston, restricted to native-bred 3-year-old colts and geldings. Let's begin our highlights package with race 4 from Saturday. This was a claiming event for thoroughbreds 3-year-olds and up, competing over 1,500 meters. Gary Sobrati's entry, Blood Fire, was sent off as an even money favorite.
They're off. Fair start with the exception of Uncle Vinny, lagging at the back early. Lala Diva took off as they leave the 7, Biblical Legend attacking on the outside. They go behind the tote structure and now they reappear as they charge away toward the 6. Lala Diva on that lead. Racing near the rail in the green, that's High Diplomacy. A Zabratone is splitting horses. Bloodfire races further back in force, just about 4 lengths off the lead. Biblical Legend has been restrained and taken back in the field. Toward the inside, Uncle Vinny asked to make ground. Inspired Miracle in the green races right alongside, and Desi the Genius trails as they're about to arrive at the half mile. In the green silks, High Diplomacy attacked by Zabratone. A length separates them. There goes Bloodfire now moving after them on the outside and they're making gains. Lala Diva is under a ride, needing to find some 4 lengths as the field leave the 3. Biblical Legend is also under a ride, further back 6 lengths off the front end. Inspired Miracle is a further 5 lengths away. Uncle Vinny not recovering at all, and Desi the Genius at the back going nowhere, but they turn for home at the top of the lane. A quarter of a mile to run. It is High Diplomacy and Devastating Dane Dawkins who leads them past the 3/16th. Here now is Bloodfire, asked to close the gap, but still up front and hanging tough to that advantage. It's High Diplomacy and Dane Dawkins. They lead by maybe 4. Bloodfire continues the chase. Biblical Legend further back and racing in third, but it's all High Diplomacy. They're not going to catch High Diplomacy unless there's a mishap. No mishap, High Diplomacy by 6 over Bloodfire. Then Biblical Legend, Zabratone running on behind them. That's Uncle Vinny in 5th.
High Diplomacy, ridden by the informed Dane Dawkins, romped Saturday's 4th race by an impressive 8th lengths. High Diplomacy clocked 1 minute 34 3/5 of a second, going 1,500 meters. Race 8 was Division 1 of a maiden special weight contest restricted to fillies. Ian Prasad's entry, Mila's All That, was sent off as an even money favorite. Devastating Dane Dawkins was aboard with sights set on his second victory of the day.
Miss Khaleesi came out at the back, needing to play catch-up as Berlino's Choice goes for that lead, a half a length in front of She's Fantastic. Mila's All That is joining that group, these 3 tightly grouped up as they go flashing past the 5. 2.5 lengths back to North London, Ava Jalin on the outside. She's My Friend races the rail ahead of Infinito. Edina Marsh is toward the back of the field, and last of all, it's the grey Miss Khaleesi. They've left the half mile. They arrive at the 7/16th. She's Fantastic dueling with Mila's All That. She's Fantastic just by ahead. Mila's All That is racing against the rail, and these 2 bobbing noses as they run past the 5/16th. North London needs to find 4 lengths to get to them. Further back to Berlino's Choice, then She's My Friend and Ava Jalin, but they're into the lane. They're rubbing shoulders as they drive past the quarter pole. She's Fantastic on the outside of Mila's All That, and now Mila's All That has the lead, and She's Fantastic drifts quickly down toward the far rail. Right against it, that's North London, but it's Mila's All That and Devastating Dane Dawkins using the stick in the right hand. Mila's All That opening up inside the final 16th. Mila's All That pouring it on and will win easily in the end. Mila's All That, the rider having a look behind. They win by maybe 5 over She's Fantastic, close between She's My Friend and North London. 5th goes to Miss Khaleesi.
6.5 lengths was the victory margin as Mila's All That clocked 1 minute 15 seconds flat, going 1,200 meters. Saturday's 9th race was Division 2 from the fillies maiden special weight category. 6-time champion rider Omar Walker was aboard Jason DaCosta's Pretty Girl. She was a 2-1 favorite.
They're all in. Ready for a start from Michael Sim. They're off and racing. Midnight Beauty is the last to leave the gate. There's one on the ground. That's Zion's Princess, getting rid of the rider. But on the front end, it's Minnie the Wack. They pass the 5, Minnie the Wack in front. of Pretty Girl Racing in second. Right there in third, that's Code of Conduct. Then comes Hidden Valley. In between horses, that's Midnight Beauty. And right on the rail, that's Disha. Tailing off as they pass the four, that is Melmick, and racing at the back of the field, Midnight Beauty. They pass the three, and it is Pretty Girl in front and making the running. Minute the whack, tying up a bit. Here comes Hidden Valley on the outside, hunting up a charge at the leader. It is Pretty Girl in front and making the running. Hidden Valley coming on the middle of the track, coming out wide and coming fast. That is Disha. It's Pretty Girl in front. Hidden Valley trying to get to Pretty Girl. Disha comes a calling. Switch towards the inside. It's Pretty Girl in front. Finding more. Disha up the rail. Also behind that is Hidden Valley. Pretty Girl begins to step away from these. Pretty Girl by maybe 4 lengths. Hidden Valley will be second. Disha third. Then comes into the whack and Code of Conduct.
Pretty Girl bounced home in style to win by 5 lengths. This victory saw Walker get into the milestone of 1,200 victories at Caymanas Park. As part of that impressive number, Walker managed to secure 6 jockeys' title. Race 10 was the big one. Named after the Sunshine City of Portmore, this was a graded stakes event for fillies going 1,500 meters. The sizzling Dane Dawkins was once again aboard another favorite in Atomica. She was sent off at odds of 2-1.
They charge up toward the final 6 furlongs. These are tracked by Rapunzel tugging hard. Sunset Silhouette as they leave the 6 races just on the outside of Fly Messenger Fly. Golden Wattle now overtaken by Nefertari, and Fly Messenger Fly relegated to last as they arrive at the 5 in the Portmore. Princess Shooting Star battling for that lead as they charge away to the half mile. Atomica right on the outside. Silent Mission races ahead of Nefertari in the red sleeves. Rapunzel is there as they spin into that turn. Our Angel races just in front of a Golden Wattle, now asked to pick up the tempo. Sunset Silhouette toward the back of the field. And last of all, it's Fly Messenger Fly, but they're gunning it up front. They leave the 3 and make their way toward the 5/16th, and the big filly Atomica has slipped away from Princess Shooting Star, working hard. Nefertari asked to close up on the outside. Silent Mission is down against the rail. Golden Wattle comes into the lane on the extreme outside, but can they catch the nuclear-powered Atomica? Inside now, the final 3/16th. It is Atomica showing her class and powering away. A furlong to run. Atomica looks to be too good for these. Nefertari in the center. Our Angel just wide of that one. Golden Wattle running no race at all, but Atomica is streaking away for victory in the Portmore. Atomica, watch that one in the Derby. Our Angel is next, ahead of Silent Mission. Then Nefertari. Golden Wattle staggers in 5th.
Atomica exploded in the home stretch and blitzed the field to win by 12 1/4 lengths. This gorgeous chestnut filly clocked a stakes record of 1 minute 32 3/5 of a second, going the distance of 1,200 meters.
113 work last week was unusual. I mean, she did it very comfortably, and I was very pleased with the work.
In terms of mentally, how you expected the race to pan out, what you expected from her, did it work as you imagined it today?
Yeah, no, she's a little high-strung at the gate. She settled on eventually. I told Dane to get her a good break and ride his race from there. I said, don't worry about her going through and leading. Just relax her as best as you can and send her up in the straight.
For the first furlong, it wasn't that easy, Until I reached the 5 furlong, I got her well relaxed as, I want her. Coming to the 4, I see Princess Shooting Star inside. It wasn't no threat. I was wondering who was coming behind. Reached at the 2 furlong, I see no one saying coming, so I asked her to run and she responded.
It was unbelievable, especially the last 2 furlongs. But George, I was here on Sunday to watch her exercise. And when I heard the time of 1:13.3, I was so surprised because she looked so easy all the way, so I know she had a lot in the tank. And having seen that exercise, my confidence level was high for this race here. She's really a special filly. And you know what I like about her too? When you go and visit her, because I visit my horses, they're like family.
Yes.
Visit her in the stall, she's as quiet as a pet. You can hug her up, you can kiss her. She's just such a lovely horse. But once she leaves that stall, she's a professional. You see her muscle up, and she's a racer. So I'm pleased. The pressure is on us now for the Guineas, the 1,000 Guineas, but what I saw today is going to be very difficult to beat her.
Race 11 was the final event on Saturday. This was a 3-year-old and up overnight allowance contest. Dane Dawkins, having already secured 3 wins on the day, was aboard the fan favorite Mahogany, sent off at odds of 1-5.
6 furlongs, 1,200 meters thereof. Billy Whiz toward the back with a 1 done and 3 times lucky. Rojon the Pilot and Mahogany mix it up front, and Mahogany now tugs through as they arrive at the 5. Rojon the Pilot chasing, God of Love is in third. Billy Whiz moving closer on the rail. Den Street 4 lengths off that lead, joined by Rass Emanuel in the green sleeves as they're about to arrive at the half mile. Miniature Man begins to pick up on the outside. Helicopter has work to do, so 2 3 times lucky, and 1 done remains last. They've left the 7/16th. They arrive with 3 furlongs remaining, and Mahogany blazes the trail by 5 lengths. God of Love going in chase. Billy Whiz is ridden on the rail. Rass Emanuel asked to circle runners out wide, but coming into the lane, it seems as if it's all over. Mahogany, the afterburners turned on, and the rider having a look between his legs. That's devastating. Dane Dawkins, he hunts his 4th win on the card as they arrive at the furlong pole, and Mahogany is out for a stroll. Mahogany by more than 6. Rass Emanuel, the closest pursuer. God of Love in the red with the yellow cap is holding on for 3rd. Rojon the Pilot is in 4th, and Billy Whiz down against the rail. 1 done coming on late, but it's all Mahogany. He blows them away and wins by maybe 10. Over Rass Emanuel, God of Love is 3rd. Over Rojon the Pilot, 1 done is 5th.
Mahogany's class was on display as he won by an impressive 11 lengths. The powerful chestnut gelding stopped the clock at 1 minute 11 and 1/5 of a second, going 1,200 meters. Rass Emanuel, God of Love, Rojon the Pilot, and 1 done rounded off the top 5.
I'm always a little bit skeptical to comment on Mahogany because every time we get him right, we have to put him down. But, hopefully he can do it as a 5-year-old. I do have to congratulate, first of all, Dane Dawkins on today. He has an amazing day, 4 wins. He's vying for the championship, so I continue to wish him all the best. But yeah, I'm very happy with Mahogany today. Very good performance.
It's not easy until you pass a winning post, But
The break you got was sharp. Talk to me about how he was traveling with you down the backstretch.
Well, he didn't get so good break at the gate, but I hustled him up and he finally relaxed him, make sure he's on the beat. The last time I did have to chase him to go on the lead, so this time he was more comfortable coming through the race.
With jockey Dane Dawkins securing 4 wins on Saturday, capped by a memorable victory aboard Atomica in the Portmore, it's now time to head to a break. On the other side, we'll recap some of the exciting action from Sunday, April 8th. This included the day's feature, the Kingston, a graded stakes event for native-bred 3-year-old colts and geldings. Welcome back to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In the second half of our presentation, we'll recap 4 races from Sunday, including the day's feature, the Kingston. Let's pick up the action with race 5. This was contested over 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs straight. Robert Pearson's Goliath the Great was the most favored among punters, sent off as a 3-5 favorite.
In he goes. They're off. Peaky Blinders broke and went right over toward the far rail, now straightening out and coming back more toward the center. As they sort themselves out, Goliath the Great, the Grey, is in the middle and they're traveling strongly as they have covered the first furlong and a half. Lacrimae races nearest to us. De Gaulle is close enough, if good enough at this stage. Brompton Alex in the yellow now beginning to make some progress. These are the main contenders as they run toward the last quarter. Goliath the Great out in front, pressed now by De Gaulle. Lacrimae still in with a chance near the stand fence. On the far side, Brompton Alex under a ride and asked to give everything, but Goliath the Great gets cracks of that right-hand stick and maintains the advantage up front. Lacrimae trying to close the gap against the fence. De Gaulle is also running in behind, but it is Goliath the Great. Here comes a gift from Ben now launching a late attack. Lacrimae beginning to charge up. Goliath the Great under pressure. Lacrimae and a gift from Ben surrounding him, but it's Goliath the Great in a photo with Lacrimae and a gift from Ben. A Giant Wheeler races up next in behind those De Gaulle.
Despite weakening in deep stretch, Goliath the Great, partnered by Panamanian rider Dick Cardenas, held on to victory by a short head. Goliath the Great covered the 1,000 meter distance in 1 minute, 1 second flat.
He left the gate really hard, so I beat wait, and I let him go like 4.5. But I realized something is wrong, so I realized him bleed.
Yeah, and I noticed that it was a struggle in the last furlong to bring him home. He really was struggling in that last furlong.
Yeah, the last furlong was a little hard because the bleeding problem. But I hope so next time he should do better.
At the line, you had a horse on your outside, Lacrimai, who was really diving at you. Were you in any doubt at the line that you had won?
I realized I win, but it was a tough decision to see the next horse come from me, and I really don't have too much horse to finish.
Sunday's sixth event was restricted to 3-year-old and upward high-level claimers. Asir was a 7-5 favorite in a field of 15 entries.
They're all in. Field in line. Immediately they're sent off. Special Counsel gets a good start. Scrambled a bit early, but now settles down, and Special Counsel is running quickly. Toward the far side in the orange sleeves, that's a KD Rocket now asked to come with a run. Lightning McQueen, living up to his name, looks to have lightning speed, and Lightning McQueen is the one near the stands and leading this field up toward the final three. Lightning McQueen out in front and in control at this stage. Acero has speed and now asked to apply it as this Lightning McQueen, fleet of foot, is dashing away from them with a 1/4 mile to run. It's a Lightning McQueen with a clear advantage. He'll have to stop to lose this as they make their way inside the final 3/16. Lightning McQueen and Paul Francis right against the stand fence. A perfect draw, and Lightning McQueen uses it to hold the advantage. Acero trying to close up. Rum with me in behind. It's a Lightning McQueen beginning to tie up a little bit, but Lightning McQueen looks to have enough inside the final yardage. Lightning McQueen will win it. Close. Rum with me and Acero go by together. Azaria is over in the center with Donald Mighty near to us. Power of Faith.
Lightning McQueen was on point in Sunday's sixth race to win by 1 1/4 lengths. Paul Francis piloted Lightning McQueen to victory for young trainer Nicholas Smith.
It's hard to really give me a good surprise run today because from last year, November, this horse even been to the gate. And trust me, when they leave the gate today, I said, wow, I wonder how far I'm going to win. But it was a brilliant race. I love it.
At a point in time, you must have felt as if you were riding a fast bike because 3.5 furlongs into the race, you were easy. They were all riding behind you and you were just kittering along.
That's what I said, definitely. When I reach the 3 furlong and take a pit bear and I see no one, so I'm going to say, only way this horse can lose unless he came up short because of not running so long, but he kept his momentum.
Well, basically pool, see, and come to the track, trot and a hack.
And based on the program, you knew that there were some big horses, well, some good horses dropping down to run here. Were you confident he could give you this winning effort?
Yes, him of the class. Once he's sound, he'll perform.
Yeah, I didn't hear him claimed out of the event. So if you are lucky enough to take him back home, are you confident that you can win something big with him in the next time around?
Well, let's see how him come out the race, how sound he is.
Race 8 saw 12 thoroughbreds breaking from post to compete over 1,700 meters. This was restricted to native-bred 3-year-old maidens. Richard Azan's Rum Puncher was the most fancied at 8-5.
We may have a line. It's difficult to tell. We do when they're off. How We Looking came out toward the back, along with Get a Pepsi and El Cid, as they sought themselves out in the early exchanges. Oh So Long, Never on a Sunday they match stride. Slamming behind them, Rum Puncher is close up. Call the Emperor races in the white cap. The Exodus races down against the rail as they make their way running up now toward the final 6 furlongs. Never on a Sunday gets the lead. GT Boy has worked his way down into second. The Exodus on the rail. Rum Puncher racing out wide of Call the Emperor. Oh So Long, Get a Pepsi now beginning to make ground in between horses. A break back to Sir Tajay asked to make some progress as they leave the 5. Slam is on the outside, possibly 7 lengths separates that group. Secret Emperor races ahead of How We Looking and El Cid tailing off at the back. A 1/2 mile to run in the penultimate event. They're spinning into that turn, and it's a Never on a Sunday and a Rum Puncher matching strides. These two now nose to nose as they drive away toward the 3/8 pole. In behind them, Get a Pepsi now hustled up by the rider, needing to find some 3¼ lengths. Slam is also under a drive, but going nowhere at the moment. The Exodus about to be caught and overtaken by El Cid as the leaders now turn for home. They're at the top of the lane, and the war up front continues. But now a Rum Puncher looks to grab a slim lead. It is a Rum Puncher now beginning to open up over against the, that's Get a Pepsi now trying to close up. Never on the sender near the rail, right against it. What? Slam now asked to explode by the rider, but it is Rum Puncher driven to the max to hold the advantage. Rum Puncher under a drive. Here is Slam kicking in on the outside. It's Rum Puncher and Slam finishing fast on the rail. It's a head bob. They're separated by the warts on their noses as they go past. The judges will have to decide. Then Get a Pepsi. How we're looking? It's also close. On the rail, it could be Sir Tajay in 5th over Secret Emperor out wide.
Coloured in deep stretch by Slam, Rum Puncher surrendered the lead just ahead of the winning post to lose by a nose. Get a Pepsi, How I Looking, and Never on a Sunday were the top 5 finishers. The day's final event was the Kingston. This was a graded stakes contest over 1,500 meters. It was restricted to natively bred 3-year-old colts and geldings. 13 faced the starter with Philip Fiani's entry Power sent off at 3-2.
Running of the Kingston. Salute the Deputy didn't get away quickly, nor the Citadel. They have catching up to do as they go past the 7. Emperor of the Cats is out on that lead. Brinks is the one racing out wide in the red cap, trying to get close. KP Choice thrusting in between horses with Blue Vinyl. Shadowfax is right there against the rail. No More Deals is fading back a little bit, along with Brinks taken off the splits as they run toward the 5. Supreme Song is 8 lengths off that lead. Power now pulling alongside as they leave the 5. The Citadel has made some ground. DZ on the outside of Perfect Brew. Take a Punt races up next, and Salute the Deputy at the back. They have a half a mile to run in the second running of the Kingston. They're into that turn, and it's Emperor of the Cats now asked to get away from them, and Emperor of the Cats begins to open up 3 lengths. KP Choice, there goes No More Deals rushing down. Blue Vinyl begins his run. Brinks is also picking his way closer all the while. Power making headway as they make the way inside the final 5/16. About to come into the lane in the Kingston. They're into it now, and Emperor of the Cats has to be caught. It's Emperor of the Cats with the lead. Blue Vinyl and Perfect Brew over against the rail. No More Deals is just in behind him. Brinks and Power making their runs widest of them all, but Blue Vinyl has now taken charge with a furlong to run. It is Blue Vinyl beginning to open up inside the final 16th. Blue Vinyl and Radish Roman have a 3-length advantage over Perfect Brew. Supreme Song running on for a minor share. Blue Vinyl wins the Kingston. Perfect Brew maybe second over Supreme Song. Then Emperor of the Cats. Brinks looks to be 5th.
Blue Vinyl copped a memorable win for trainer Patrick Lynch and apprentice rider Radish Roman. Blue Vinyl posted a stakes record of 1 minute 32 and 4/5 of a second, 1/5 of a second slower than the filly Atomica in the Portmore. Perfect Brew came home second, followed by Supreme Song, Emperor of the Cats, and Brinks.
You can see him in that race was playing. Need to see the horse him to have a comfortable run. Well, today I just let him see the horses, and then him take it from there.
We know the story around him, and early he had some issues which may have put other people off him. But from the time you got him right in terms of his fitness and his soundness, did you think you had a horse who could come to this level and be at the standard at this stage of the season?
Well, from day one I got that this horse is like, him tell me that he's have the potential to do things. So all I have to do is try to keep him in the frame of mind, and we get what we want from him.
Well, then I just listen to the trainer and ride after the instruction, get a sharp break, relax him as much as I can through the race. It don't matter which part I am in the race, but just the key thing is to relax and get him going the last 2 furlongs.
I noticed you saving ground all the way on the back stretch. You took the inside run turning for home. There were a couple of horses outside of you who were ahead of you. By the time you went to press the button, were you confident you had the gas to get away from them and come home easy?
Well, I'm pretty confident coming into the race, and as I tell you, I just listen to the trainer. He said pick a good position, sit down, and try my best not to get any stop.
As we recap another thrilling weekend of racing, it was highlighted by Atomica's explosion in the Portmore. and Blue Vinyl cupping a memorable win in the Kingston. Jockey Dane Dawkins, who started Saturday's race day 1 win behind Anthony Thomas, managed to secure 4 victories on the day. This was swiftly followed up with 2 wins on Sunday. Dawkins now leads the jockey standings by 5 victories. This after Thomas failed to record a win over the 2 day of racing. This has been another edition of Caymanas Park Highlight Show. See you